So for the second industry, we are going to look at the healthcare tourism industry. In your textbook, you can refer to chapter 28. Okay, to ensure the promotions of the country's health tourism is coordinated, our government has established Malaysia Healthcare Tourism Council. Kita panggil dia sebagai MHTC. So, these organizations or this council was established to facilitate the strategic development of Malaysia's healthcare travel industry and to raise the country's profit as a globally preferred destination for world-class healthcare services. So, dia bukan sekadar nak bagi perkhidmatan kesihatan, tapi dia nak jadikan Malaysia ni sebagai satu hub untuk orang travel and get the healthcare services at the same time. Macam pergi travel dan dapatkan perkhidmatan yang berkaitan dengan kesihatan. Okay, so untuk this industry, kita sebenarnya fokus dekat private healthcare service provider. Kalau you buka hospital swasta, like say Basira Medical Center, okay, dia tak applicable untuk public healthcare services lah, macam public hospital tak. This one memang spesifik untuk private healthcare providers. Okay, siapa-siapa yang nak, yang berkaitan lah private healthcare service providers who intend to participate in health tourism have to register with MHTC. So, mula-mula sekali, you kena bagi perkhidmatan berkaitan dengan healthcare, and then nak buat something yang berkaitan dengan health tourism, you have to register. Tak boleh like macam, okay, saya nak buka satu private company, hospital, lepas tu saya nak claim this incentive. Cannot. You have to register with MHTC first. Okay, let's look at the eligibility criteria for this incentive. The following condition must be met. Company must be incorporated in Malaysia. Facility must be approved and licensed by the Ministry of Health. Bukan sekadar like, okay, saya ada private hospital, saya registered dengan MHTC, then I got this incentive. Tak, dia kena ada juga melalui berbagai prosedur lah. Yang penting ditubuhkan di Malaysia and you dapat lesen tu daripada Ministry of Health. The facility must be registered with MHTC as a healthcare facility for the promotion of healthcare travel. So kita buat that facility dengan niat untuk bagi perkhidmatan yang berkaitan dengan healthcare travel. And yang ni condition dia lagi satu, untuk setiap year of assessment, healthcare travelers should form at least 10% of its total patient. Daripada jumlah pesakit you tu, kena make sure minimum 10% come from healthcare travelers. And lagi satu syarat dia, at least 10% of the gross income should be generated from healthcare travelers. Okay, so kita tengok apa yang dimaksudkan dengan healthcare travelers, pengembara kesihatan kan. Kat tepi tu ada tulis untuk you, healthcare travelers are non-Malaysian citizen who participates in Malaysia My Second Home program. So dia bukan orang warga negara, tapi dia took part in Malaysia My Second Home program. Memang dia tubuhkan satu program ni specially untuk non-citizen yang datang Malaysia dapatkan perkhidmatan yang berkaitan dengan kesihatan. An expatriate who is a non-Malaysian citizen holding a Malaysian working permit and his dependent. So ada orang tu dia bukan registered bawah Malaysia My Second Home program, tapi dia kerja dekat Malaysia, non-citizen, tapi dia ada working permit. termasuk juga non-Malaysian citizen who visit and receive treatment from private healthcare facilities in Malaysia. Termasuklah juga orang-orang daripada luar negara bukan status warga negara Malaysia, dia datang Malaysia untuk dapatkan perkhidmatan yang berkaitan dengan health penjagaan kesihatan. Itu dikira sebagai healthcare travellers. So, in order to be eligible for this incentive, kena make sure our patient at least 10% pada tahun tu come from healthcare travellers. And gross income pun kena 10% generate from healthcare travellers. Okay, baru boleh apply for this incentive. Okay, tadi kita dah settle berkenaan dengan eligibility criteria. Sekarang kita nak tengok what kind of incentive available for healthcare tourism industry. Kita ada investment tax allowance, ITA. Okay, so kalau you still remember, for tourism, hotel and tourism in general, dia dapat dua jenis kan incentive. Dia boleh pilih sama ada nak dapatkan pioneer status or ITA, investment tax allowance. Untuk healthcare tourism, dia bagi you investment tax allowance sahaja, tak ada pioneer status. Okay? Tapi the mechanism for this incentive, you will get income tax exemption 100% on the qualifying capital expenditure, 100% of QCE, set off against 100% of statutory income for each year of assessment. Dan dia bagi selama 5 tahun. So, sama je macam hotel and tourism industry in general. Untuk ITA, beza dia kalau yang biasa-biasa tu ITA dia QCE, 60% of QCE, tolak set off against 70% of SI. Tapi untuk healthcare tourism, ITA dia bagi 100% on QCE, deduct or offset against 100% of SI. Duration sama, 5 tahun. Okay. Any unutilized allowance can be carried forward to subsequent years until fully utilized. So what happened after 5 years? You still boleh, kalau ada loss yang belum guna or allowance, like say capital allowance yang unabsorbed, belum habis utilized lagi, you can carry forward to years after 5 tahun tu. So boleh je bawa ke depan walaupun dah habis dah tempoh 5 tahun of you punya ITA. You have to be reminded that this incentive is not automatically given. You need to claim or you need to apply. Okay. So cara nak buat application, submit your application to MIDA, Malaysian Investment Development Authority. Dan dia bagi tahulah kat situ eligible untuk claim this incentive once only. Okay. Sepanjang you buat that business, you join healthcare tourism, you dah apply sekali, you dah dapat dah ITA untuk 5 tahun, after dah habis dah tempoh 5 tahun tu, lepas tu you rasa you nak re-apply, tak boleh. Sebabnya awal-awal lagi dia kata this incentive only given once only, sekali sahaja. Selalunya orang akan apply pada tahun awal-awal lah kan, sebab masa kita mula-mula start the business, time itulah yang kita memerlukan banyak insentif, banyak bantuan. So selalunya masa the initial phase of you punya business lah, awal-awal. Tapi depends lah, ada tu dia macam sebab awal-awal tak ada lagi incurred macam banyak income, tak dapat lagi banyak income. So dia tak perlukan insentif untuk mengurangkan income sebab dia memang bayar tax sikit sahaja. Depending on the business, bila dia nak apply the insentif, cumanya sekali sahaja, tak boleh banyak-banyak kali. Okay, even though for this chapter you do not have to compute anything, it's all theory. Tapi kita tunjukkan you sikit lah, a bit illustration macam mana this incentive works dalam computation. Okay, dia bagi satu illustration, ada this hospital wellness, dia establish new hospital facility in Sarawak, and then dia dah given approval by MHTC incentive by MIDA. Kiranya dia dah dapatlah kebenaran untuk menggunakan insentif di bawah MIDA, yang ITA tadi itulah. So, hospital building costing 5 million was constructed on land owned by the company. Tanah tu pula harga 1 million. Qualifying medical plant and machinery 1.5 million, of which only 1.3 was verified by MOH. So, remember dia punya eligibility criteria tadi tu, facilities kena been licensed or approved by Ministry of Health. Daripada information yang dia bagi tu, kita tahu this hospital sebab dia private, lepas tu dia buat healthcare tourism, dia boleh claim ITA 100% on QCE. So first nak determine QCE, land cost is not eligible. Kalau you still remember, you belajar chapter Investment Building Allowance, IBA, or Capital Allowance, the cost of the land is not considered as qualifying cost. So, tanah punya cost tak dikira, building cost 5,000, plant and machinery, even though dia incurred 1.5 million, but only 1.3 million was verified by MOH, therefore we take only 1.3 million. Jadinya total QCE for this hospital adalah 6.3 million. So nak kira exemption 100% on QCE, kiranya 6,300,000 tu adalah dia punya tax exemption. Kita akan tolak against 100% of its SI for that particular YA. Clear Dia hanya nak tunjukkan you illustration lah macam mana nak menggunakan insentif tu dalam computation. You do not have to compute anything, just you should be able untuk explain the mechanism. Berapa persen of QCE nak tolak against which income, 100% or berapa persen of you punya SI. Okay, selain daripada ITA tu, we have other incentive available for healthcare tourism industry. I have listed some of them here. You can read them by your own self, ataupun kalau you have extra time, you can go to website MHTC. Ada banyaklah yang dia explain lagi berkaitan dengan healthcare tourism industry in Malaysia.